A good friend of mine, Benny Lee, he says, when does my wrongs end and my rights begin?
My name is Harry Pena. I'm the coalition manager for the Fully Free campaign, and my personal pronouns are he, him, his.
My name is Marlon Chamberlain. I am the campaign manager of the Fully Free campaign, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. Prior to the Free Act, there is a statute that says that anyone with a felony conviction can't act as the executor over an estate. And so what the Free Act did was it removed the language from the Illinois Probate Act that now allows people with felony convictions to act as the executor over an estate.
It was also a way of introducing permanent punishment because it was not talked about. They considered it collateral damage or consequences, when in fact it's permanent punishment. After the judge sentences you to a time of incarceration and parole time, that should be it. But for all intents and purposes, it's not. So we're paying now for the rest of our lives until these laws are removed that keep us in a caste system.
I would also say too, the Free Act was personal to me because my father passed away 2 years ago. My father and I had sort of rebuilt our relationship since I've been home to the point where he trusted me enough to appoint me as the executor over his estate. And because of my now over 25-year-old conviction, I was unable to carry out my father's last wishes. And it wasn't just me. Like this bill impacts over 600,000 people throughout Illinois. And there are several people within like the campaign that are like the caregiver for their parent. And they're the only person that their mother or father sort of trust to handle their responsibilities when they pass away. And if we didn't do the work and introduce the Free Act, they would have been unable to sort of carry out the wishes of their family members. The statute didn't take my rights away. It took my father's right away.
Yes.
And so I told the story from that lens to say, this is why we need to restore the rights of many of our family members who see us in a different way. They see us for who we are. They see the work that we invest in and the changes that we've made in our lives to not only do this work, but just to grow as a person.
And that's the other side of the component that we're not talking about. The stigma that comes with being a convicted felon. When does that end? If the time has ended, then that stigma should end. We are here to help change the narrative so that we can become instruments to be used to change the element that's going on.
In most cases, when they rebuttal and they say, well, what about people with these types of convictions? We're able to say, hey, I'm that person. And then there's a pause because they look at us and they look at the lobby badge and they're like, wait a minute, you've been incarcerated before? And it's like, yes. Like, what do you think we look like? So we're able to redefine what people think or what they assume when they think about folks that have been incarcerated. And we're also changing that narrative because we're able to show that I'm a husband, Harry's a husband, I'm a father,